Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to a episode of Coping with Life. I'm your host, Scott. It is Saturday. Hello, everybody. I want to tell each and every one of you I appreciate you very much. You all are amazing. Consider supporting this podcast by going to anchor.fm/copingwithlife. There is a support tab. Consider helping out this podcast. Keep on growing, telling your friends, family, and spreading the word that everybody should have a good day. I love each and every one of you. So, hopefully each and every one of you is having a good day. If you're not doing okay, that is okay. It is okay not being okay. And if you need somebody to reach out, find somebody that you can confide in, that knows you. Help is out there. There's hotlines out there. You matter. Now, I suffer from a lot of issues, mental health issues. Disabled. I have many disabilities, and there's a huge laundry list of things that I suffer from. And there's a few battles that are just tough. And, I manage because that's who I am. A lot of people may not be able to handle such life crises and things, but, before I begin this topic on addiction and habits of variety things, my email address is copingwithlife, DAMI@gmail.com. Again, that is copingwithlife, DAMI@gmail.com. And just to be sure, it is Coping with Life, DAMI@gmail.com. Addiction. And I don't mean, drugs. That doesn't pertain to me. I don't do drugs. I seldomly drink anymore. But addiction can happen in a lot of ways, and, buying habits, spending exuberant amount of money that you don't actually have or will obtain. But if you or somebody who's suffering from addiction, my heart goes out to you, because I know that is tough and rough, and I'm sorry, and I wish your friends or family the best, and I hope they can seek help. And I've had my battles with addiction, and I used to abuse alcohol, and I went down a dark road with that, and I'm being honest with y'all. It was rough. I've battled with depression, and I got to a point where all I wanted to do was, fuel my depression by drinking a lot. And I was going through a tough time. And I didn't care anymore. Didn't really want to be alive anymore. And so I just drank. And nobody really talked to me anyways. And so that's what I did. And nobody knew any different because, they only messaged me or called me when they wanted something. And I was just the miserable me that they kind of knew. And I slapped on a happy face and went on my day. But addiction can, come in many different shapes and sizes. And it doesn't have to be, drugs or alcohol. There's healthy types of addiction as well. And I suffer from those as well. I like to collect video games. I like to collect comic books. Guitars. I play music. I like playing music, and it's nice to just collect a few things that I like doing. But there was a point in my life where I wasn't happy. And even the small people in my life, they knew that something was wrong. But they didn't know what to say or how to act, because they're not used to dealing with such things in their circle. So instead of saying something that may offend me or may revert me into walking away out of their life, they're silent. And I don't fault them. They're great people. They are people that I still converse with. But, one of the reasons why this podcast, because I want to break down the walls of myself, be a little bit more open, forthright with my brain, because I keep a lot of things locked inside. I'm a happy-go-lucky person. I don't ever do violence. I don't believe in violence. I don't believe in yelling. I really have a calm demeanor. I can get frustrated. The extent I may throw down magic cards here and there. As in Magic the Gathering, because I am a nerd, and but that's seldom. And but I went through a time where I was unhappy in my life, and I have many silent battles that I deal with on a daily basis, and I still do. And I have a few people that I talk to. But some silent battles are just hard. I have my good days, and I have my really bad days. And it's hard for me to talk about, the battle that I deal with, because majority of the time, those people do not know what to respond with or how to respond. And, I articulate it in a way that they can understand. But, you can't tell somebody not to feel the way that they're feeling, or what their head is spinning. And I'm not talking about like delusion stuff. I'm more talking about, things that to said person, for example, myself, there's a lot of things that my brain wants to settle in, and just it will kill my entire mood and make me a little grumpy, a little non-talkative, more silent. And the people that care about me, when I'm silent, they want me to talk, because I enjoy talking. I worked really, really hard in my life to learn how to speak. Unlike normal people, I learned to speak at a lot older age than a lot of people. A lot of issues that I have overcame, and I've fought my entire life to survive, and that's who I am. I am a survivor. I do a lot of things, and the point where I was abusing alcohol, now, I wasn't hurting my body. I was hurting my mind. A lot of people, when they abuse alcohol, they're hurting their body, and they're hurting their mind, so they don't think. I have such a big frame, and I am a heavyweight when it comes to drinking. I don't drink to get drunk. It's really hard for me to get drunk. To my recollection, I don't think I've ever been drunk where I have lost, my wits. But usually I drink to the point where my emotions can flow freely, and just, let it all out. Maybe anger. It may be suppressed sadness that, having a good cry. And it's okay to be emotional. I am a very emotional person. I'm not afraid that I am an emotional person. I'm definitely okay with living the best life I can. And I've lived a life that, I'm not proud of, but it is, what I've done. But, addiction is hard. I know a few people who still struggle from addiction, and they don't think that they have a problem. But, for somebody who loves being positive, I love being positive. I love making people laugh. And I strive to be a better person. And, when I was drinking heavily, and I'm going to be honest, I don't drink beer. I drink spirits, mainly whiskey. For somebody who has a lot of teeth problems, it started to kill the pain that I was suffering in my mouth region. And I felt very amazed by not having lots of teeth pain. So I took it into my own hands, drank to kill the pain. That only that only lasts temporarily, but it felt good. And then, depression, and then, I before that I used to drink just to enjoy, just to relax, to unwind, have a few laughs. But there's a point where I would just be drinking bottles of my preferred whiskey, and to the point where I was no longer happy, was no longer joyful. And, how do you deal with that? I knew what I was doing. I knew it. I remember I was sitting down. I was playing a video game. And I had 2 to 3 bottles next to me, all polished. If you are a drinker, you may know what that means. But them bottles were polished, very much so. And I remember the game that I was playing. It was Metal Gear Solid 5. The Phantom Pain. And I remember saying to myself, this is the problem. Now, enjoying to enjoy is one thing. But, abusing it to get more emotions or killing pain, it was to the point, and again, everybody is different. Normal people, even, my therapist said, that wasn't really, abusing alcohol, but to me and to my brain, I was doing a lot more than I should have. Everybody is different. Everybody handles things different. And what I perceive, maybe 2 glasses of whiskey, to me, that might be too much. Now, being the later end of 2021, I had a nice glass of whiskey last night. I didn't enjoy it now. I'm in a lot better mindset when it comes to liquor and, if I'm dealing with something bad, if I'm going through life events, tragedy, grief, I stay away from that stuff. But, everybody's different. Everybody's mindset is different. But to me, when I was playing Metal Gear Solid 5, I realized that at that point in my life, it was too much. It was affecting me in more ways than I would have liked. And a good friend helped me get through the dark time that I was dealing with. And I know for a fact that I'm glad that they were there, because my life got a lot darker. It went super dark. And I'm glad that at that moment, and the people in my circle, because when my life got a lot darker and a lot rougher on the road, that happened, that played out, the thing that was going on in my life, I am so glad that, I didn't revert to alcohol or whatever it may be. I more worked things out and tried to do my best to maintain a, safe environment for myself to negate the bad atmosphere that was happening. And, everybody has those moments in life where uncertainty is, uncertain. And, everybody has vices. And like I mentioned, to me, there are some good addictions. I like collecting guitars. I like collecting video games, but, at the same time, gaming consoles, computers. There is a running joke in my circle that I could legitimately have a laptop in my entire apartment and still find room for another laptop. I don't have that many laptops, but I have a few, and I use all of them. I have a laptop and I have a Chromebook. I like my Chromebook very much. But I'm very tech savvy. Being intelligent when it comes to technology. I'm not going to go into everything that I'm able to do, but I'm very smart when it comes to technology and computers. And so I'm kind of addicted to a lot of things. And the latest thing, is I'm addicted to doing this podcast. I'm motivated and I love doing this. It is, one of those things where I'm thrilled to be able to wake up and go, it's podcast recording day. It's Saturday. It is time to find something, Sometimes it will be, whatever is on my brain or something that there. And I'm going to be revisiting a lot of the topics. This is just an introduction, trying to help me get more comfortable, helping you understand me a little bit more. And again, feel free to ask questions and suggest an episode. And, or just general inquiries, that is okay too. But, also don't be offended if I don't get to it in timely fashion. I'm going to say this, and ahead of time, I apologize. I'm dealing with a lot of stuff currently in my life where sometimes I don't want to leave my bed. Sometimes I don't want to leave my apartment. Sometimes I don't want to do anything. I don't want to talk to anybody. And, that is okay. your mental health. Your mental health, your life is important. Everybody is important. And everybody matters. And, struggle is real. And finding things to smile, and I think I found it may be temporary, and I quoted myself, I found temporary happiness, and that is something that I've been chasing, but it only lasts so long, and I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to live my best life, but there's a lot of things that I want to achieve in life. There's a lot of things that I want to do, and trying to find ways to accomplish them. But at the same time, my mind will go, okay, today's a bad day. You're going to have a bad day. I try really hard to have a good day. But some days I don't want to do anything. And I don't check my emails all the time. I do apologize. But I want to hear your opinions. They matter. And again, thank you for telling people about my podcast, telling people and sharing and supporting me. And I'm happy. I'm in a lot better place than I was. But it's still a battle, still a struggle. It's still hard. And a few things that I do, I collect Dungeons and Dragon books. One of the biggest addiction that I have right now is my obsession with Lego. That now I didn't go overboard, but I have spent a little bit more than I should have. But now I have a few things that I built, and I'm so thrilled. And so when I can, I'm gonna build more Lego, and I'm pleased with that because it's a hobby that I actually enjoy. It's very peaceful and tranquil, and it helps my brain. And I'm really happy about it. So again, thank you for the person who sent me my very first Lego set. I have built 7 sets. And they're small. They're just got 2 big sets done, and then a couple small ones. And working on another, but I'm covered. I'm pleased, and that's, to me, that's a happy addiction. You just have to be mindful and aware. Lego ain't cheap, especially when you're on a small income, and that is okay. Being poor is okay. But addiction is hard, especially if it's a bad habit and a bad addiction, which when people say, well, you're an addict, there's a lot of negativity to that, but there's some good additions out there. I have an addition to making people smile, making people happy. And I think we all need to find our smile and find a reason to keep on smiling. No matter how small or how big, I'm proud to be where I'm at currently in my life. It's not the best. It's not where I want to be. But I'm happy. There's a lot of people close to me, and there's a lot of people that I can confide in. There's a lot of great people out there. And I care about each and every one of you. And I'm glad. And if you are actually suffering from a bad addiction, consider seeking help. Understanding is one thing, but trying to make things better is another. For me, I want to be the happy-go-lucky person that I'm naturally am. But my body likes to default to, sulking in the corner, and that's not healthy. That's not healthy at all. But I fight to try and be better. Fight to smile. And, whatever it may be for you, whatever it may be for you, I hope you're happy in life. Because sometimes it's hard. Sometimes, what worked for you 2 years ago may not work now. Because we adapt. And, I'm in a lot better place than I was, and I want to grow. I want to continue growing. And one of my biggest problems in life is the ability to talk about issues. And I still am trying to find a good formula for this podcast. My goal is to try and help people, but also tell my story of how I'm coping with life. Right now, Dungeons & Dragons and Lego. Basically. And music here and there. Always music. Playing my bass. Playing my guitar. Playing video games. Having a great conversation. But, not everything can be good. That's life. The good times are great. The bad times are bad, obviously. We've done it, but, sometimes it's good to understand. But thank you so much, everybody. I care about each and every one of you. Absolutely. Hands down. Thank you so much for listening to this, and I want to continue growing, and your feedback is amazing, and I would love to hear more. And, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. more stories about me. This is me coping with life. This is me trying to live a better life. And I want to also help people. I want to help understand people, who may not understand how to converse. I want to break down the walls of being able to talk to people and have a conversation. And when you tell somebody, hey, I'm not mentally well today, I'm unwell, instead of going, okay, go away, freak, I want somebody to say, hey, you know what, come over here, let's talk. What's going on? Because you may not understand what that person's going through. And, that is definitely okay. But helping articulate and helping listen to person of what's going on in their brain is going to help immensely. And, that is a great thing, hands down. Because I want to have a topic, and I am not a health professional. I am somebody who's struggling to live day to day. There's a lot of things that I struggle with, a lot. And there's a lot of things that I need help with. But, I live alone. And I do my best. And I'm proud of myself, how far I've come. So, and I want to continue striving forward and spreading the message of positivity and greatness and helping everybody understand from a point of view of somebody who's disabled and mentally ill, and how we can overcome, and how I cope with life. And also trying to have a nice dialogue and, make it more open and okay to talk about. Mental well-being should not be shunned, should not be dusted under the rug and ignored. I want to discuss this. I want to break down the walls and go forward. But that is today's episode on addiction. And hopefully when we come back to this topic, it will be more informative, more stories, and more ways to combat it and make it a happy alternatives, and find ways to make it more of a hobby, less than an addiction. So this has been an episode of Coping with Life. I'm your host, Scott. As always, thank you so much. I bid you adieu. Wow! That was another great episode of Coping with Life. I hope you enjoyed that. I really do. And I hope you have a great day, evening, afternoon, night, whatever it may be for you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope to see you next week. And as always, consider supporting the podcast at anchor.fm/copingwithlife. Wherever you are, I love you. You are amazing. Thank you so much for listening. That's been another episode, and I'm kind of thrilled. That was kind of a fantastic episode. Good job, Scott. I'm proud of you. Proud of myself. And I'm proud of you, listener. May you have a great day.